To some business stories now. The Nigerian equities market has maintained its bullish performance as the all-share index gained 2.61% in the week ended 6th of May 2022. Now, this is following the 2.43% growth recorded in the previous week. This is according to the information contained in the weekly stock market report released by the Nigerian Exchange Group. The benchmark index, ASI, appreciated by 2.61% from 48,459.65 points recorded as of the end of last week to close the week at 50,935.03 index point, while the market capitalization followed suit to close at 27.46 trillion naira. Now, this brings the month-to-date performance of the Nigerian stock market to plus 2.61% and a year-to-date gain of 19.24%. Now, joining me on News Central to discuss this is Azeez Lawal, the Managing Director at Trustbanc Asset Management Limited. Thank you very much for joining me, Azeez.
Yeah, good morning, Blessing. Thank you for always having me.
Always a pleasure. Good morning. Now, Azeez, let's talk about the market as of last week. What sector and what stocks shaped the bullish performance of the local bourse?
Yeah, thank you. Last week's market performance was largely driven by consumer goods sector performance. Specifically, we saw investors renewed interest in the stocks of Cadbury, PZ, International, and Champion Breweries, and a couple of others in that sector. Each of these stocks I just mentioned, they gained over 20%, and the index itself gained 7.2%. The index that followed consumer goods gained around 3% thereabout. It tells you how active and how deep that performance was last week. So, consumer goods index closed as last week as the best performing index. Thank you.
All right, Azeez, would you say there were any other major developments in the market that influenced the trading activities, and what are your own expectations for this week?
And specifically, there were no major events, except that we continue to see the impact of the Russia-Ukraine crisis on the resulting supply crunch impacting some stocks, specifically Presco and Okomo. One of the major disruptions in supply presently globally is around palm oil and oil palm related products, including soybean. And Presco and Okomo are the two listed companies that trade in those products. So we have seen increased investors' interest and improved performance in each of the stocks this year. So last week, Okomo closed on full bid, and Presco itself did well over 18%. So those are the kind of impacts we are beginning to see in the market, and it's been like that really for Presco in the last couple of weeks. Also, news of a possible tariff hike in the telecommunication sector. We also saw the impact in the market last week. In fact, MTN closed on full bid at around 250 naira last week. Thank you.
All right. Finally, Azeez, what should we be looking at when it comes to the fixed income market for this week? What is your expectation?
For looking at for the bond market, for example, we expect the sentiments to be mixed this week, even though the market closed last week heavily liquid, but we expect mixed sentiment. Then also there will be an auction on Wednesday. That's Treasury bills auction. We expect rates to continue to trend upward, like we saw in the last three auctions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Azeez Lawal. Always a pleasure having you join us on the news.
Yeah, thank you for having me.